And there goes my cat. Hey guys, welcome back. Yep, we are back. F.A.M.E Weekly Talk. Oh my goodness, we are chatting with all the amazing people and their contribution towards this movement, all right? Food, arts, music, and the environment. And we do this every week right here on this Instagram Live. Yes, we do. So make sure that you guys spread the word and tell a friend. Come on over, man. Join the F.A.M.E family. Oh yeah. Mitch Kamak here, that is my name, and this week's theme, soulful. What does that mean to you? All right. Yay. Okay then. So earlier, we did food, arts, music. Well, we usually do food, art, music, the environment. We kind of did a little shake up, and we started off with Samara representing art. All right. Yes, over there at Something Samara. Remember, guys, we're doing a giveaway. Tag 3 friends. All right. You're gonna also tag Something Samara as well. Share the video, and you have a chance to win. Yeah, these earrings are made with love. Okay, you heard the process. You heard the process. Yes, man. Hours and hours and hours. Yes, and then we just had a conversation with the amazing, inspiring Rochelle Griffith, sharing her story with us, all right? So make sure that you guys look out for her EP, all right? End of the year or early January, either one, right? So make sure that you guys keep a lookout for that. And now we are heading on over to the environment. Let us have a conversation. We are heading on up to the hills at Cocoa Hill Farm. We're going to have a conversation with him. He's going to share his story with us. Happy birthday, Margaret. I make choices in every segment. Happy birthday, Margaret. Celebrating your birthday today. Oh, hello.
Hello. Hi. Mahmoud here.
Yes, Mahmoud Patel. How are we doing today?
Good. Just let me set this up a little bit better.
Okay. While he's setting up, we'll let you know what's happening. This theme, it is mind. Whoa. And you're looking at the F.A.M.E Weekly Talk. Soulful, not mind. Soulful. Look at my program, that conversation that we had earlier. Mr. Patel, Mahmoud, are we all good?
You can call me Mood. Call me Mood.
Call him Mood, okay.
Yeah.
Not Mahmoud, just Mood.
Mood.
Okay. Are we good? Everything is cooking proper, nice and set up?
Good.
Everything's working. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I was saying before, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for, taking some time out of your busy schedule to sit and have a conversation with us and share your story.
Sure.
Yes. So, well, in this case, Mood Patel, owner at Cocoa Hill Farm. How did this happen?
Sorry, what was the question?
Happen?
Okay.
Farm. Yeah.
Well, let me maybe give an introduction about myself. Essentially, I've been a filmmaker, writer most of my life. Also been in the hotel industry as well. And one time when I was in Senegal shooting a film for Moussa Senabsa, he kind of was telling me, Mood, you people in Barbados, when you talk about the creative industries, it's really difficult to understand that because everything you put in your mouth in Barbados is mostly imported. And that food is the first art. And if you really cannot talk about a local creative industry until you fix that issue about food identity. And when in the 2008 recession, when things really went south and my film career in the Caribbean came not to an end, but really got slow, I was kind of looking at how to reinvent myself. And one of the things I remember, being in the hotel industry and seeing that we import most of our food, being an artist, and the whole idea of food is the first art. So I decided that I would go back to the beginning and look at food and food security and food as art. And that's how Cocoa Hill kind of essentially started. And it evolved. It has evolved over the years, but that's where it started from, that trigger.
Okay. I almost want to get back to the film part, but I also do want to get to Cocoa Hill Farm because I want people to know about it, all right? So we're going to get back to that film part. I'm just not going to let it go like that, all right? We're going to get back to it. What is Cocoa Hill Farm?
So essentially, Cocoa Hill Forest. Forest. Cocoa Hill Forest. It is a farm, but it is really a forest. So what we are doing is called regenerative agriculture. And so basically what we are looking to do is work inside a forest and do farming. So we are creating a food forest or a fruit forest. And, you know, traditional agriculture is about monoculture. You cut down all the trees, you plant one crop. What we are trying to do is look in a way that heals the land, but also looks at food security. So we're working in the Scotland district in St. Joseph, which originally was sugarcane. But what we are doing is replanting trees. So we are looking at recreating forests, but then turn the forest into a food forest. So then we do what we call vertical farming. We do a lot of recycling. I call it clean farming as well. So no herbicides, no pesticides, and basically try to work out a system. Because I'm also in the hotel industry, by the way, and we have a cafe on the southeast of the island at Ocean Spray and Marlow, to work out a marriage between tourism and agriculture.
Yeah.
Where to grow the food at the forest for the cafe. So essentially that's what Cocoa Hill Forest is about. Looking at food security, looking at regeneration, looking at healing the land and reforestation.
Okay.
But in an artistic way.
Oh, okay. In an artistic way. Okay.
Correct.
Yeah. And you keep saying we. Who is we?
Well, when I say we, I mean it's the team. You know, I can't do that. This is not a one-man project or one-person project. You know, the crew at Ocean Spray, the crew at Cocoa Hill, you know, and all my mentors and people who have kind of helped me along the way. All the other farmers as well. So this is not a one-man show at all.
I just want to make mention of everyone who's helping the farmers and the team, and you know, there's always something getting out of you. So the process, you just decided one day to let me just get this plot of land. You know, why there? You know, you started it's a sugarcane plantation, but why that particular area? Like, what draw you to it?
Well, I mean, there was some practicalities in it. I mean, land in Barbados is super, super expensive. And you know, the kind of project that I'm doing is about planting fruit trees and forest trees. And sometimes, you know, the trees take, 35 years to grow? It's a long-term project, you know? And so I had a consideration. I had to try to find the right topography, but also what was affordable for me in terms of return on investment or what I could afford. So, you know, most people would think that land in St. Joseph is rob land, it's useless land, but it was perfect for me. It was hillside, perfect for planting fruit trees.
So that's why you chose that particular location.
Yeah.
So the state of the land, you know, you got it, and then what kind of work kind of went into it?
Well, we are in year 7 of the project. The first couple of years was about trying to understand the land itself, the features, the issues with water, the issues with erosion, the issues with mud flows. It has issues with mud flow, but because of bad agricultural practices in the beginning. And then clearing some areas, planting the trees. You know, we've been planting hundreds of coconut trees. We've planted about nearly 80 types of trees so far.
Wow.
And in each type, you know, maybe like coconut is our big thing. So, but we planted things like coffee, cocoa, pineapples, all kinds of bananas, all types of fruit trees.
Wow. And they are for purchase as well? You can purchase them?
No. I mean, so there was 2 parts to this project. One, grow my own food for the cafe. And look at self-sufficiency, and then the other thing was to look at agro processing. So what we are trying to do is grow, like for instance, from coconut. Like we planted, you know, a couple of hundred coconut trees, but the idea with the coconut is to look at milk, sugar, oil, flour, all the byproducts that coconut can give you. So a big part of the project, or the way we call the pyramid, or the top of the pyramid of this project, would be agro processing.
Okay.
Yeah. So we are not really selling to the market yet because we have a long way to go in terms of planting more trees.
Okay. And then you'll be ready to sell to the market.
Yeah.
So when you do tours at Cocoa Hill Forest.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, correct. So again, that's an interesting story. In the beginning, how I saw the project was Cocoa Hill was going to be agriculture and regenerative agriculture and all that, and reforestry and so on, and Ocean Spray, or where we are down here on the coast. That was the hotel side. That was the tourism side. But I have a big, big, big problem with monkeys. They eat
I
every
love
fruit.
them. They're so
But
cute.
yeah, I know. They're very cute. And in the
I
beginning,
love
I was like, okay, peace and love, monkeys, we're gonna live together. But they've eaten every single fruit. Everyone, everything.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, yeah. You know, pineapples take like 18 months to grow, and
No.
they eat everything. The cocoa, the coffee, the sapodilla. I mean, 40 different types of fruits. So so we had to find a way to survive. And so one of the ways that we are now looking at is what we call agrotourism, or, you know, opening up the forest. So we have done about 2.5 kilometers of trails. There's some really beautiful lookout points.
Wow.
There is a part in the forest that comes fairly close to original Barbados forest. And so we have some trails through there. So yeah, so right now about 2.5 kilometers of trails, lookout points, picnic areas that, you know, we all could come and hang out, walk, breathe in. And we do something really cool that we call green therapy or forest bathing. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And it's a kind of walking, yeah.
I want to hear about it.
Yeah. Okay. So part of it, so the whole idea of forest bathing really is to connect with a forest or a green space, preferably walking bare feet, but so you can earth yourself to the ground, and walking through a space very slowly, very quietly, very meditatively, breathing in the air. And I think what's special about a Barbados forest is that you have the trade winds blowing through it. Think about that. The Atlantic trade wind, 1,600 miles of air coming into the forest, being oxygenated, breathing that in, and de-stressing. Yeah. So that's something that we do in a small part of the forest. And you can touch the trees, you can stay in the trees, you can connect with nature, connect with life, and better therapy.
How do we get to be a part of this?
Say that again?
How do we get to be a part of this forest bathing experience?
Well, I mean, what we do, you know, right now, unfortunately, because of COVID, we are just open to the public on weekends, on Saturday and Sunday from 10 to 4. There's an admission cost. And you come whenever you want. You can stay however long you want. And, you know, bring some walking shoes, bring some food, bring some water, and you just go and walk, chill, roam.
And do we get to pick? Are we permitted to pick any of the fruits, or?
Well, there ain't gonna be no fruits to pick because the monkeys pick those already. But there's stuff like lemongrass and bay leaf. We have some, yeah. You know, we're planting lots of ginger and turmeric.
Nice.
Yeah. So there's some stuff that's available, but not fruit wise right now, until we fix that challenge of the monkey problem.
We need to come up with a plan, Mood. We need to come up with a plan to craft it in a hurry, man.
Yeah, it's a challenge as a farmer. I mean, you wear the farmer hat. I mean, the monkeys are really pretty, you know, for sure. They're primates like us. But when you wear the farmer's hat, it is a major challenge being a farmer.
And no, I think that's how people feel about butterflies sometimes. I'm like, no, I love seeing them. They're beautiful. You know, but I completely understand. So we can go online. We're going to find you. We're going to book. And again, listen, I am looking forward. I want to do one of these forest, what do you call it? Forest bathing?
Forest bathing, yeah.
I think especially now, you know, with everything that is happening, it's, you know, always nice to get, you know, rejuvenated in the forest. You know, how the trees feel really good. They're making a good contribution, man, for sure. Okay, so walk us through, well, you just pretty much did walk us through the process, you know, when you get there. So we book online. Where are we booking? We're booking online?
Well, you can book online, but actually you don't need to book anymore. You just turn up.
What?
You just turn up. Between 10 and 4, last person in at 4 o'clock, and you just turn up. I do a small initiation or one of the crew about the project, what to look for, where to go, and then you just go on your own walk. You know, you do your own thing. You could take a couple hours if you want, spend the whole day if you want. Go off trail a little bit because it's 53 acres.
Wow.
And, you know, most people that would go there would say, wow, this reminds them of Dominica.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Lush green
Yeah,
vegetation.
yeah, yeah.
Wow. And so what other services do you guys do other than forest bathing?
So I mean, right now it is just that walking, hiking, and forest bathing. What we wanted to do before COVID was to set up a cafe. Um, you know, we were going to call it Vital Food, and basically to more or less do experimental foods in terms of juices, in terms of roots, in terms of barks. It's kind of going on the fringe there with different medicinals and herbs and so on, doing a cafe serving all kinds of alternative cuisine.
Okay. So
That hasn't happened yet though, but I mean, that's the plan for the future.
okay, thank you. You see, look at that. It hasn't happened yet, but it's a plan. It's not like it's not gonna happen. But
Yeah.
fingers crossed, you know, we need to get the good vibes out there for sure. With some good food, right? Oh my goodness. Okay. So I want you to walk us through something here. Earlier you mentioned something about when you first purchased the land, it was because of bad agricultural practice that you had this mud issue of some sort, right? What are some of the good agricultural practice that we can practice?
Well, I actually want to handle your question or answer your question in two parts.
Okay.
One, the bad agricultural practices. I mean, you know, I didn't realize this in the beginning, but to be quite honest, sugarcane and slavery really damaged Barbados. And, you know, a lot of people talk about the societal part of it, but what you don't realize is how bad sugarcane was for our soil and for our topography. You imagine Barbados was all forest at one time. I'm not going to say that we should have it all forest still, but it is one of the few places in the world where almost all the topography was cut down to plant one crop. We lost like majority of our flora over the 400 years that we had sugarcane. Wow. And in the Scotland district, it is estimated that we have lost 50% of our topsoil in the sea, in the Atlantic Ocean, because of sugarcane, for the most part. And so what we are trying to do, Cocoa Hill is really what we call a regenerative agricultural project, in that we are trying to heal that, trying to fix the land. And in some ways, like by adopting good practices or best practices, like we do terrace farming, we do drainage, we do replanting, we can do agroforestry and look for some like forest trees like whitewood and whitewood, mahogany, teak, etc., to plant back to help with the rooting system, to help with putting back nitrogen in the soil. And then under that, we would follow the forest pattern of planting smaller trees and then roots and then vines and so on, trying to recreate a forest ecosystem that helps to regenerate soil.
Exactly.
That's what we're trying to do. And a small scale, to say, okay, look, this has been a big mistake, but these are the things you can do to regenerate, to heal the soil, and to look at food security.
Wow.
And then my personal layer on top of this as an artist is that we try to do it in a way that has some kind of beauty or design involved in the process. So, you know, all the pathways, all the terracing, all the intercropping, kinds of speak to kind of design.
Yeah.
Site-specific kind of art.
Yeah, wow, nice. Look at that, telling a story as we walk through, you know, easy on the eyes. I love it. Makes sense. She's like, I love it. Every time she says, she's like, I love it. You went and then take me to the releasing Vital Flea Market. You know that was a good idea, a nice thing to do. Wow. How was it?
You personally should come and see it too.
I want to do that rain bath. So it's forest bath. It's a forest bath.
Forest bathing.
Forest bath. I want to do it. I've been called to that one for sure. And how was the process been going thus far?
Well, I mean, COVID has been a setback, but COVID has been a setback for everybody. I would say post-COVID, like right now, we are actually getting a lot of Barbadians coming to Cocoa Hill.
So it's not a setback. Thank you very much.
You know, it has been really refreshing to see the support that we get from Barbados that come up on weekends and engage in the whole idea of food security and planting fruit trees and so on. We will actually soon start back the volunteer work. We before COVID, we were doing something like volunteer farming. You come up on a Sunday, spend a couple hours. We do a little workshop about the project, and then guests help us plant a couple trees. We're gonna start that back soon. But the support from Barbados has been incredible.
Commendable as well, right? That's the thing with everything that's happening. I'm seeing so many people doing more local, again, supporting a lot more local. Everything. Look at this. Everyone's going to the hills now. We're going to Cocoa Hill Forest. Yes, we are. Are we doing, obviously, we acknowledge what's happening with this virus, but when you start like your volunteering program, is there any, like, an age limit?
Is there any what, sorry?
Like an age limit? What's the youngest?
Not really. I mean, from 6, 7 years old, before, from 6, 7 years till about 70 at least, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
So about 70. What about schools? Are you doing any work with, I know, with everything that's happening, is, like future plans to do any sort of work?
Well, just again, yes, definitely. I think, one of the things that was happening before COVID, as we were reaching out to schools and we were getting some schools coming up. Again, the same thing, spend a half a day and do a workshop around the whole idea of food security, the whole idea of, reforestation or deforestation in the world, the need to plant back trees, the need to reforest. And then the students would come and help plant, some trees. And I think, that was a kind of, actually a little bit of history, a little bit of geography, a little bit of agriculture, a little bit of environment, all mixed up together. And at the end, a very tactile experience of planting food.
Wow.
So yeah, definitely going to work with schools in the future.
Okay, sounds like an awesome plan. It does. We need to get the younger ones involved, right? Have an appreciation for it. It's a good carbon footprint. So we can find you on social media.
Yeah, I mean, we are on Instagram as Cocoa Hill Forest, Facebook as Cocoa Hill Forest too. You can find us on TripAdvisor, and you can find us physically on Waze or Google Maps. Just punch in Cocoa Hill Forest, and that will tell you how to get there.
How to get there. I want to ask a question before you go as well, right? What surprised you most since you started doing, since you started Cocoa Hill Forest?
Wait, say that again, sorry.
What has surprised you most since you started Cocoa Hill Forest?
How big the damage? Okay, the biggest surprise I would say it's a negative, but is how destructive sugarcane was. Yeah, I would say that was my biggest surprise. I didn't know that initially, but when I see the damage that was done to our land, it's fairly bad. And I mean, it is bad. It could be fixed. It needs some visioning, but I think that was my biggest surprise: how destructive and malignant sugarcane was, not only socially in the structures that it set up and the history that is left, but the damages it has done to our landscape. I would compare it as a kind of resource extraction that you would see happening with oil or other minerals in Africa. I think it was that bad. That was my biggest surprise. No disrespect to anybody, but it was my personal observation.
I know people like you are in the process of kind of trying to educate us about that, try to kind of, make it right again. Hats off to you, right? Because most of us don't know. We wouldn't even understand it, So let's say we're doing like a small garden at home. Do you have any tips for us so that we can kind of like not make the situation worse?
I mean, the project I'm doing is maybe, let's say it's a more macro project, but for sure, the idea of vertical farming, planting on the vertical line, so you can plant small stuff and then a medium and a tall, recycling, because that's a big thing that we used to do too, right? It's all the waste food from the cafe was sent back to the forest to be composted. And so that way you reduce the amount of stuff going to the landfill. You can create a small ecosystem in your backyard using the waste from your kitchen that goes to help to make soil. I
Yeah.
mean, I mean, we have done it in the past, you know. Back in the day, every family had had a couple of chickens, maybe a sheep, a pig, or whatever, a cow.
Whatever.
You know, exactly. I had a fruit tree, and then some bananas, and then some tomatoes or whatever, sweet potatoes or whatever. And
Yeah.
more or less going back to, not going back, but doing that,
Yeah.
doing that. You know,
Okay.
if you check a lot of our houses have so much concrete around it, or you know, we kind of lost our way a little bit, I would say. But you can do container farming, you can do vertical farming, you can do small areas that you could, you know, grow something. And then you could even do it on a village or community level where households talk to one another about what they grow so they can exchange. There is, I would say, definitive possibilities to fix it.
And you just list a few just to start us off with.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Are you making a documentary by chance?
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm a filmmaker, you know.
Yes, I know, right? It's like obviously you make a documentary.
Yeah. No, you know, it's a story, it's a process. 7 years into the journey, and for sure, what I say now and what I can say now, I wasn't able to say 7 years ago. My observation, and it's a kind of evolution or a kind of path or a journey. Not sure where it will go in the next 7 years,
Yeah.
but definitely we will try to record what we've been doing, and you know, at some point have it as a kind of documentary or a testament for memory. This is a kind of healing or regeneration.
Awesome. Wow. So he's making a documentary. So we're gonna look forward to that. I mean, I guess just keep us posted as to when the release. You know, you want to have a little look at it as well. Do you miss the film industry? I had to ask. Come on.
Yeah, I do actually. I mean, I'm hoping that I will get back there at some point. But again, that's the journey. That's like going down a river. You don't know where your journey will end. But I know for sure in 2008, 9, 10, when the film industry in the Caribbean, the F.A.M.E had become really not working or whatever, going back to the land, going back to food, going back to what you need to eat was important. And I hope that, you know, and so when I come back to, well, hopefully when I come back to the film industry, come back with other experiences, maybe with a different vision, a different gaze.
Well, finding inspiration in the forest, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my goodness. Oh wow. So we've gone from doing film to doing real life film, because this is like a movie. It is.
Yeah,
like
it is. It is a movie. It is a movie. I mean, I don't want to give out too much, but I'm actually talking to some Barbadian artists, both male and female, to look at doing what I would call site-specific art at Cocoa Hill next year. You know, that talks about the problems that I mentioned earlier, and use the land now in a way, what I would say, exposing some of the troubles, some of the histories, that when you look at the land, it looks so pretty, but behind it is a story, behind it is a tragedy. So I'm hoping that sometime down the road, in a few months, we can open that up to the public.
Yes, and we would love to have it. I mean, learning and growing every day. I'm sitting here, I'm like, oh my God, when you say it like this, but the damage that's done, I'm like, really? Wow.
Yeah.
It's
I
not
couldn't,
something for generations, boy.
you know, it is. I can say that now very easily, but I could not say that 7 years ago. It's, you know, it's one of those things.
Okay. And fingers crossed, we're going to get back. At least we're going to put some work into it. You know, do a little ecotourism, make a contribution to it, you know, and hopefully steer things in the right direction. So no regrets in starting this business, no regrets in starting Cocoa Hill Forest, none whatsoever.
None whatsoever. Actually, definitely post-COVID, I would say it is probably what the world needs to do. I mean, there are millions and millions of filmmakers and millions of hoteliers, but I don't think there are millions of foresters or people planting back trees on the earth. I think more and more we recognize that we need to regain, well, not only Barbados, but the entire planet. And so I would like to say that it's a little bit of a blessing to be in this kind of work,
Yeah.
because it's about healing. So I have no regrets, not at all. I mean, sometimes I've made mistakes, like horrible mistakes, big learning curves, but no regrets.
Okay. I'm just taking it all in. Big mistake, learning curve, no regret.
Yeah.
None whatsoever. Oh my goodness. Well, I want to thank you so much for stopping by. I saw the pictures online. I'm like, this is in Barbados. It just looks like, I say, all the lush green vegetation. I saw a young lady there sitting among some bamboos, sitting on the floor, and it's the bamboo tree, and her hands are open and she's giving thanks. And I'm like, look at this. I want to be a part of this, so we can just turn up. And
yeah, just turn up, or you can WhatsApp me or send a message. But for sure, yeah, I'm gonna welcome.
And you open from 10, right?
From 10 to.
Oh, what's happening?
Days, more time.
10 until 4. Okay. Well, Mood, thank you very much. Thank you for sharing your story with us. Thank you for now making us curious, because now I'm curious. I want to learn about the soil, the damage that has been done, how we're going to fix it. You know what I mean? So thank you for steering us on that path and sharing your story with us. We really do appreciate it. And when I get to Cocoa Hill Forest, we will take a photo together and we'll post it.
Well, first of all, can I say thank you also for the opportunity to, spread the message, share the word. Yeah. So thank you too, guys. Yeah.
You are so
most
welcome. All the best. Okay, Mood.
Cool. All right. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye. Look at that. We just had a conversation. Listen, guys, it is happening right here in Barbados, man. Cocoa Hills Forest. Listen, the experience makes you feel as if you are on a whole other island, but you are still in beautiful Barbados, man. So go ahead, have a tour, do a forest bath. Yes, that's what we're gonna do. I want to try that for sure. All right, so make sure that you guys check them out. They're open on weekends from 10 until 4. Pop on up there, Sugar Hill Forest. All right, just had a conversation with Mood, and you guys know up next we're gonna be chatting with Reggie. Where are you, Reggie? Where are you? So we're going to save this video, and we're going to be back as soon as the video is saved. This is the F.A.M.E Weekly